What it do, Alphas? Aere here for your Tuesday update. It is the 2nd of August. Hope everyone is having a great day. Yesterday was amazing. If you were here for yesterday, if you were paying attention yesterday and you start to pick up on some things that I've been talking about, I've posted them in Discord. I posted this play in Discord yesterday, but the flag broke down. We were talking about that 4-hour flag that broke to the downside, and the even bigger flag broke down, which was the daily flag. So we had two flags, a flag within a flag, all broke down. We licked the liquidity at 28,500. That should have been your entry for a long, and you could have rode that all the way up to 30,000 like I did. I posted my winnings yesterday in Discord. It was about a $16,000 day on that specific play for me yesterday. It was a great day. Currently, Bitcoin's coming down, as it should, off of that $30,000 level liquidity. That is a sell wall. When you go up to grab it, remember they act like magnets. That is your key to take an entry based off of your technical analysis, your back testing, everything that you're looking at that we've been talking about on this channel for a long time. So pending we don't smash through it, pending that the momentum isn't so strong, you're going to get a downturn as we did. Now, I rode my long all the way up to 30,000 and hit my stop loss. Great. Unfortunately, I wasn't at the computer. I was out and about. I was actually at BJJ class when it started to retrace. I couldn't get an entry at $30,000. I didn't actually enter into position until this morning, but I'm in the green, currently up about $4,300, 11% on a smaller time frame play on this day today. So as a lot of you guys know, I'm in some larger positions as well, shorting BNB, CRV, some other coins as well. The stronger pull on the magnet appears to be 28,500 right now. It looks like we're headed in that direction. We need to cross 29,000 first, although at the moment, that is a psychological level, but it's not really ripe with a lot of liquidity at the moment. So we shouldn't have a tough time crossing that. Anything can happen. We're going to dissect the charts today. You guys know how we do it every single day. We cover the news, we cover crypto Twitter, what's happening, any drama, any hacks, scams, what's going on with other influencers, and then we get you the charts, we get you the Bitcoin TA, look at some alts, we package it up into a sweet little video for you guys. The news today, there's a lot. Fitch downgrades the US long-term rating from AAA to AA plus. Bitcoin bounces off of that news, which is cool to see. So who would have thought that Fitch, of course you got to subscribe, Fitch would pump Bitcoin today. Funding rate on Bitcoin is mostly positive. I talked about this in Discord last night. I've been talking about it for a while now. I don't know exactly where we're at today, but we're going to check it out. But we were over 0.01, which typically signifies a reversal, or the longs are going to get squeezed. We're going to head down and squeeze out those longs. HEX delisted from Uniswap. You know, the Uniswap calls them a decentralized exchange, but how can you be a decentralized exchange when you can just arbitrarily decide which tokens can be on there and which tokens can be not? Now, if you watched a few of my videos recently, you know I'm not a fan of HEX. However, you shouldn't be able to just arbitrarily, you know, stop something. Worldcoin news today. We got a couple of weird things to go over. Everyone's talking about yields and bonds today. We're going to talk about how that could be signifying a recession to come. And we're going to talk about Minnesota, my home state where I live. Minnesota's biggest crypto scam. Man loses $9 million to LinkedIn seductress. So this is crazy. Anytime I get my DM inbox on Discord or my DM inbox on Twitter is full of like hot chicks, right? Wanting to be my best friend, wanting to marry me. So it's crazy that this stuff works. So without further ado, let's just hop right into it. There's a lot of misconceptions out there of exactly what's going on surrounding the SEC versus the XRP rulings. Ripple is trying to debunk some misconceptions. This is probably gonna be a good read for a lot of people. So, you know, misconception number one, the decision is a split decision. The case's essence was clarifying XRP's US regulatory status. Ripple consistently contended that XRP isn't a security, as did everyone in crypto. This was affirmed by the court. Beyond that, the ruling sets a precedent. This is important, establishing the token's non-security nature, a notable triumph for Ripple and then the industry as a whole. The second one, the decision suggests XRP is a security in certain circumstances, but not others. The SEC, Gary Gensler, actually stated this in his press conference. So quite the contrary, it inherently is not a security. The court distinctly stated that XRP as a digital token does not inherently equate to an investment contract or a security. While coupled with promises, like an orange glove bundled with rights, it can be treated as an investment contract. But the core asset, XRP, remains unaltered. So while coupled with promises is something that they're going after HEX with, right? If you do a simple search of YouTube or Richard Hart's Twitter, we'll see that he coupled his tokens with promises of riches and Gucci suits and Lamborghinis, right? It doesn't make sense to classify certain XRP transactions as securities while others are not. This is misconception number 3. So this is important. The determination of an investment contract must be based on the unique circumstances of each transaction. Now we're talking smart contracts and things like that here. This differs from traditional shares of stocks, which are consistently treated as securities. For example, owning a share of stock in a company establishes a fiduciary duty, irrespective of how it was acquired or sold. Number 4, the decision prioritizes protecting sophisticated institutions over retail buyers. So the court stance doesn't favor either. Doesn't favor institutions over retail buyers. The verdict's scope is the SEC's jurisdiction, confined to securities. The absence of an investment contract implies no security. Curtailing the SEC's role, shielding retail crypto traders mandates thoughtful legislation, a gap Ripple aims to address through collaborative regulatory effort. The decision hampers Ripple's ability to conduct business. Well, since 2020, Ripple's major dealing shifted beyond the U.S. boundaries. Now, as we come to a close and hopefully it all goes in their favor, they can reshift focus back to the U.S. Number 6, the court rejected Ripple's fair notice defense entirely. They partially rejected it regarding the institutional sales, yet left room for other case-related transactions. This reflects a potential defense avenue, signaling a benchmark for challenging baseless SEC theories. So we're still not through it, right? So while the court's decision touches on consumer protection, the absence of any type of real regulatory framework could potentially expose retail traders to risks. This is what a lot of the exchanges and companies are saying. They're saying, lay out a regulatory framework for us to follow and we will follow it. Unfortunately, there isn't one. And Gensler and the SEC are out here trying to enforce and make regulation through enforcement. So foreign regulators in various countries have concluded that XRP has not been deemed a security. Why this matters: the court's decision on XRP's regulatory status carries significant implications for Ripple and the entire crypto industry. By affirming that XRP is not a security, the rule sets a precedent for other tokens classification and strengthens the case for clear regulatory guidelines. So the TLDR is, this is a big win. It sets a precedent, but we're not done yet. We're not through the woods yet. We need clear regulatory framework in the United States, or else these companies are still going to look overseas and we're going to lose the crypto ecosystem where everyone's just going to shift overseas, period. This is why right now I'm telling you, I'm a single issue voter. It's a single issue for me. This is my livelihood. I'm a crypto trader. This is what I do. I mean, granted, yes, I could go trade stock, sure, but I don't want to. I like crypto. It's what interests me. So I'm voting. I'm a single issue voter this cycle and last cycle as well. And y'all know what that means, right? This is a tale as old as time, man. It's sad, but Minnesota's biggest crypto scam. A man loses $9 million to a LinkedIn seductress, or probably a dude in Nigeria. Police are investigating the largest known crypto scam case in Minnesota. So a local man was cheated out of $9 million by a woman on LinkedIn who wanted him to leave his wife and run away with her. Wonder if he's got a divorce now too, on top of losing $9 million. I would assume so. You know, this is Keith Ellison. You guys might remember him. He used to be a senator or a congressman. Either way, he's the Minnesota Attorney General now, a shitty one. But from December 21st to June 8th, the Minnesota man invested eye-watering sums of money into a crypto scam. So essentially, they set up a crypto, which she said, you know, hey, I need you to invest in blah, blah, blah. So it was CoinRule-Web3, whatever the hell that is. In total, $9.2 million was deposited over 21 transactions. However, the funds weren't being invested into the crypto on his behalf as he thought. Instead, they were deposited straight into the bank accounts and then into wallets controlled solely by the LinkedIn scammer, who then invested the funds for themselves. You know, they did fake signs of profits, fake documents, all this stuff, et cetera, et cetera. Eventually, however, he wanted to cash out. He couldn't. The LinkedIn adulteress told the man he needed to pay $2.8 million fee in order to collect his returns. He reportedly called his wife in a panic and told her to withdraw all the remaining assets to pay the fee. The following day, the wife learned that her husband had liquidated their investment accounts over the past 6 months and called the police. This is like sad. It's just it doesn't say like how old this man is. I'm sure they want to be anonymous, as you would want to be anonymous in this case. I wouldn't want everyone to know my dirty laundry. But like I was saying at the beginning of the video, like my Twitter DMs are just full of, and it's mostly like Asian women. They're not women, right? They're the Nigerian or from wherever, from Middle East, wherever they are. I'm sure some are from the US too, not just pigeonholing those countries, but that's where a lot of them are from. But I'm just like, man, who falls for this shit? But they do, to the tune of $9 million. So Worldcoin, a new report reveals that Worldcoin plans to expand by allowing governments and businesses to use its ID system. This is crazy. So they're going to allow governments and businesses to utilize its iris scanning and identity verifying technology in an effort to sign up more users. This is according to a report by Reuters. According to the report, Ricardo Maciera, the general manager for Europe at Tools for Humanity, which is behind the Worldcoin project, said that the company is on a mission of building the biggest financial and identity community possible. This is just like Facebook or you know, like if they're just selling your data and your and everything that you are to governments and businesses. It's you can see where this is headed, right? It's insane. I mean, you are the product in this case. Plans to open source the technology. I don't believe that for 1 second. They're not even showing their token distribution method. The project's co-founder Sam Altman has opposed those claims with posts on Twitter known as X now, showing a video of people queuing for iris scans. The idea is that anyone in the future can build their own orb and use it to benefit the community that it's aiming for, he said. He continued to say that he does not believe Worldcoin will be a generator of universal basic income, though it would be very happy to be one providing the infrastructure for governments and other entities to do so. They're kind of debunking some of that here. So additionally, they explained to Reuters that WorldCoin intends for companies to pay to use its digital identity system if they want to implement localized systems without the need to gather personal data. You can just see where this shit is headed, man. It's wild. And we have talked about this, how France's privacy watchdog stated it finds them questionable. Duh. While German regulators launched a probe into Worldcoin's operations back in 2020, regulators in the UK are considering opening inquiry into the company. However, their website is claiming that they're completely private, right? Fuck, man. I don't buy this shit. Neither should you. Top it off. Like we talked about when this launched, so their biggest market for signups so far was in Kenya, where they paid people money to sign up. 15, 14-year-old kids. I mean, there's just long lines. A lot of these accounts ended up on the black market, which is crazy. So now it's suspended in Kenya. Go figure. So I'm just going to briefly touch on this, but Uniswap, a decentralized exchange, delisted. Think about that. A decentralized exchange, delisted. They made the decision, not the community, not validators, not everyone getting together and taking a vote on it. Uniswap delisted HEX after the SEC suit. Now, you guys know, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not a fan of HEX. I'm not a fan of Richard Hart. I could have told you this for day one of the launch, and I did, to stay away from this stuff. But I thought it was interesting. I mean, it's like so many projects are claiming to be decentralized. They're claiming to be DeFi, and they're not. And that sucks. Which kind of leads me back to all the claims that everyone else is making, like Worldcoin. You know, your stuff is private. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. Steady Lads deploying more capital from Terra Luna, from Do Kwon, or, you know, FTX saying everything's fine a couple days before they crash. I mean, we can go on and on with this. And it should be noted, you know, I don't view all of crypto like this, and you shouldn't either. There's a lot of good people out there, mostly good people, a lot of good projects. There are a lot of shit projects too. There's a lot of shit people as well. And it's just like that in the real world. It's just like that in the traditional stock markets. I mean, look at all the Ponzi schemes we've seen. Look at Bernie Madoff, et cetera, et cetera. ApeCoin crashes amidst Yuga's legal turmoil. All-time low on Yuga Labs. They're in court. It's kind of made a mockery of themselves in court. lost multi-year support to $1.77 on Tuesday. You know, it's just ApeCoin DAO declares voting on a new slogan for Web3 identity. Things aren't looking good for ApeCoin. We're going to take a look at it just briefly, probably in the TA section of this video in a little bit. But things just aren't looking good for Ape in the community, for the apes, for the NFTs, for anything. So the funding rate on Bitcoin is the most positive it's been since February. Are we going to get a long squeeze soon? So I posted this in Discord last night before this article was printed or any of these articles were printed. But anytime this blue line here is your 0.01. So anytime we get above it, typically what happens is you come down. The market wants an equilibrium. It doesn't want way more longs than shorts. It wants to find a balance, and it will find a balance. So is a long squeeze coming? Potentially, probably. Here you can see the funding rate for all exchanges. It's just been an up and up and up as people have been longing and longing and longing. So is a long squeeze coming? Probably, as I said yesterday. So just another indicator for possibly now how much of a long squeeze it is. We'll take a look at the charts. By the way, if you guys want to come and chat with us, we are in Discord, discord.gg/alpha-aere. It's a trading clan. It's not a signals group. Those are BS. If you know, you know. I'm building a community here. We've been out for 2 weeks. We're already at 100 subscribers. Discord's popping off. We're posting stuff all the time, chatting about it all the time. First 100 people that join who are active members are going to be grandfathered into any type of pay gate, paywall I do in the future. Free for your entire life for helping me build this thing. Just give us a try. Hop on in. Test us out. Stay for a week. I promise you'll hang around and you'll like it. So look, this is big news. You know, Fitch is downgrading the U.S. from a AAA to AA+. This was a surprise move that follows the high-profile fight over the debt ceiling earlier this year. So they cited expected fiscal deterioration in the coming years among its rationale for doing this. So Bitcoin price pumped off of this news to, 30,000, as we all know. This is good news for crypto. This is what crypto was made for. The Bitcoin white paper was made for. This is why we're all in it. We were talking about this in Discord earlier too, right? There's so many charts showing that the dollar or fiat currency doesn't just have to be the dollar. We're talking about anything is the true shitcoin, right? I mean, as soon as we came off the gold standard, look at the total credit market debt owed versus US nominal GDP. It's insane. As soon as we came off the gold standard, right? Look what happened to government spending after coming off the gold standard. This is just insane. You get the point that I'm trying to make here. So Fitch placed our country, the US, my country's rating on negative watch in May, citing the debt ceiling fight in Washington. The repeated debt limit political standoffs and last-minute resolutions have eroded confidence in fiscal management, Fitch said. US stock futures opened lower Tuesday after the downgrade, and today, spoiler alert, they are down and heavy. NASDAQ down 2%, S&P down 1.2%. So if you don't think this matters, it does matter. Now today, Bitcoin's down 2%. It's just following liquidity. It got that bounce last night, and it's faltering back today. So take that, couple it with yields surge after Treasury boost auction sizes more than expected, seeing a debt issuance tsunami on deck. Also, this in Discord earlier too. So Peter Schiff, love him or hate him. I mean, he knows somewhat, not so much crypto, but he's a smart guy. Let's be honest. Park your bias. I'm not a Peter Schiff fan, but sometimes he knows what he's talking about. But he's saying the U.S. bonds market is on the verge of a major breakdown, and that will send mortgage rates to levels unseen since 2000 and fuel more banking trouble, coming from Peter Schiff. So everyone's talking about bonds and yields right now. We talked about banking troubles yesterday. We also got the commercial real estate bust. Those are all held. Most of them, I think it's like 70 or 80% are held by smaller regional banks. So if those chickens come home to roost, it's going to get ugly. So looking at the latest Treasury debt estimates, U.S. has predicted a near record $1 trillion in debt sales in the current quarter, up from $750 million. And in October, it was $852 billion. Numbers are so staggering, they are usually associated with an economic crisis. So Fitch realized this on Tuesday and downgraded the rating. So Bank of America's Michael Hartlett called it the era of fiscal excess. So we were all hearing about the deficit busting Bidenomics, right? The surge in debt issuance is meant to sustain the illusion of deficit busting Bidenomics, which so far has kept the US economy from imploding only thanks to massive new debt and deficit spending. You want a TLDR, too long didn't read of that, as we're screwed if we keep on the same pace. Recession coming, period. Putting it all together and looking ahead, the message is simple, as Joseph Wang put it. Bill issuance is heavy next few months, so Treasury will soon be at their 20% recommended level, and trillions in coupons each year after, forever. We're breaking the system, ladies and gentlemen. He concluded that he can't see anything but structurally higher yields. He is right, of course. It is only a matter of time before the buyer of last resort, the Fed, will be forced to step in with another round of QE. So keep an eye on the next manufactured crisis that will enable the Fed to do just that. And as always, guys, all these articles, everything that I've covered is linked down below. So if you want to read it, I know that last one was probably a little hard for some people to understand. You feel free to click the links down below. Let's just hop in the charts. That's pretty much it for the news so far today. I mean, who knows? It's still early. As I'm making this video, it's only like 12:30 right now. So we got plenty of day left, plenty of sunlight left. Let's get into the charts though. So Bitcoin wise, right? $29,000 is that psychological level. There's not a whole lot of liquidity at $29,000 right now, as you can see over here. I mean, we don't get real heavy to about 28.5, which is this red line here. And there in this box, this long rectangle here, there is a ton of liquidity. I mean, just look at this. It's so ripe with liquidity here. It is insane. So $30,000 is really the only thing above us. 29,500 is kind of a psychological level as well. But the liquidity currently sits at 28.5 or $30,000. So we licked into 29,000. We got bounced up. It got defended. Probably going to test it again, unless we just chop sideways for the rest of the day. I don't think we do that, though. It's looking kind of spicy. It's looking like the volatility isn't over. What the market's trying to do right now is shake out the paper-handed, inexperienced investors and try to capitalize off of your losses. That's what these whales are doing. These whales, they're killer whales, man. They're hunting for you. And when I'm saying you, I'm saying inexperienced traders. It might not be you. Maybe you're experienced. But they're hunting. They're out there hunting for these inexperienced, paper-handed traders who get scared at the first sight of turbulence. And that's what they're doing, and they're good at it. My favorite saying as of late, well, number one, I like saying the word probabilities. But number two, you don't have to be a whale to swim with them. Swim with the whales and you're going to be fine. Don't be a guppy being gobbled up. Don't be a sardine being gobbled up by these large whales. So it's possible that $29,000, right here, we licked into it and we're bouncing up. Maybe my stop loss is going to get hit. I'm probably going to let it get hit because I'm just unsure right now what the market's going to do. Liquidity is at 28.5 and 30,000. My guess, my gut tells me we're probably going to come back down a little bit further. But so far, 29,000 got defended. I actually might move my stop loss up just a little bit more, just to give myself a little bit of wiggle room here. Currently up 17%, $6,500. Not bad. I mean, if my stop loss gets hit, it gets hit, right? I'll look for another position, or I'll be patient, or I'll go do something else for the day. Remember, if you're not feeling the market, be patient. Have discipline. Stick to your trading plan. There's always another trade. Crypto's 24/7. So here's what I'm watching today, right? So we got the lick off of $29,000. That held, that got defended psychologically, not liquidity wise. There was no liquidity there. I mean, I can pull this up. You can see where we licked into it. There's no liquidity there. There isn't any. There's a little bit, but not much. It just psychologically got defended. And sometimes that happens. So here's what's going to happen. Either 29,000 becomes the floor, or we come back down and retest 29,000, lose it, and we're coming down and retesting yesterday's low at about 28.5, 28.6, 28.7, somewhere around there. That is my guess. If 29,000 becomes the floor, becomes the new floor, great. That would be a higher low. That would start to look and feel a little more bullish. And then we got $1,000 range, guys. We got $29,000 to $30,000. So it's just a matter of what Bitcoin does within these next couple of hours here as we get into Power Hour and into Asia Open tonight. But that's the three levels that I'm watching today. The levels of liquidity that I'm going to be playing today, obviously, I mean, if we get back up to 30,000, you know, great, I'll take another short because I doubt we're going to crash through $30,000. Just look at these sell orders up there. It's going to take a lot of momentum. It's not impossible. Like I said, it's a game of probabilities. There's that word again. But more than likely, we're coming back down if we hit 30,000. If we come back down to 28,500, again, probability-wise, that's a good place for a long. Now, the last thing I want you to do is just listen to Aere and just, oh, we hit 28,500. Let me take a long, and then all of a sudden it crashes through. You got to look elsewhere. You can't just base your decisions off of one thing. You got to see how strong that money flow is. How strong are we bleeding? Or is it just a little bit of a normal push? More often than not, it's just a little bit of a normal push. I think I'm going to end it actually there today, guys. If you want an altcoin TA'd, drop it down below in the comments section. Hey, dude, can you TA this for tomorrow's video? And I will get it in there. Or you want a fundamental analysis, or you want to know anything, drop it down below. Top of that, if you want something sooner than that, because I post all day long, guys. You know what I mean? I mean, look at the altcoin TA channel. Boom. I mean, I'm posting all kinds of alts. You know, Litecoin halving today. You know, I did an altcoin TA on that. Caspa, OP, CRV. I mean, you can go on and on and on. You get the point there. But my point is, I'm available. Use me. Backtest your own TA. Compare notes. It's fun. It helps us both, so we can both look at each other's charts and see what's going on. But give me a try. Hop on in, discord.gg/alpha Aere. I was going to do some alts today, but this video is kind of going on for a while. We're at about that 30-minute mark. But it just looks like more downside across the board on alts. You know, a few exceptions. Caspa, you know, retesting that all-time high. If we can't get above it, it's going to come back down, period. Naka retested that high. I mean, it blasted through. But what we need to do is flip 0.5401 to support to continue up. It's that simple. You know, WLD right now, retesting the high. We need to flip 2.5. Otherwise, we're not continuing up, and we're going to get rejected and come back down. And it's just a matter of what Papa Bitcoin does. Right now, it's bleeding down to 1.85% on the day. So whatever 30,000 or 29,000 does, if that becomes support, that's going to be huge. Appreciate you guys for watching. I'm Aere. Do this every single day. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll be in Discord all day. If you need something, come holler at me. Later.